What is an arbitration? You've heard of depositions, you've heard of being an official in a courtroom, you've heard of carton captioning. What's an arbitration? Please don't forget to subscribe. When a company or a person files a lawsuit, they will get assigned a court case number and eventually make it to court, make it to a trial. It could be a jury trial or it could be just a bench trial, which means it's decided by the judge. Sometimes the two sides of a case, called parties, will agree on using an arbitrator, using the arbitration system. And basically it's kind of a hybrid. It feels like a deposition atmosphere, but you have a person who does the role of the judge and makes decisions on all the objections. You have opening statements, closing arguments, witnesses, exhibits, everything the same, but you're usually in some sort of conference room and everybody's there in the room. So it feels kind of like a court case. It's done more casually than a case in court. The role of the court reporter is the same as any other place we work. We make sure we capture every word. I have found that mostly the arbitrators will really be an advocate for the court reporter, so they won't let people talk over each other. They will stop. I found that this much more so than an actual judge will do. Although I don't work a lot in court, I work mostly in depositions, but I do like to take arbitrations. A lot of reporters don't. Maybe can be seen as being a little harder, but it's really a nice atmosphere most of the time. Recently, I worked on an arbitration, and this is what he had to say on the subject.
All right. My name is Mark Bernstein. I'm a labor arbitrator. And Laura has asked me to say, we were talking earlier this morning about court reporters, and she asked me if I would be willing to do a little spiel for you guys, and I said, sure. So the most important thing, well, it's not the most important things. There are a lot of most important things, but a very important thing and a piece of advice that I give you is don't take shit from lawyers. Make them treat you with the respect that you deserve. Speak up for yourself. And don't let them get away with crap, because a lot of lawyers will just take you for granted, and don't put up with that. When I say stick up for yourself, I don't mean trash talk them, but like tell them you need breaks when you need breaks, and be respectful, but just don't roll over.
And you're saying that as you're an arbitrator now, but of course you were a lawyer.
I was a lawyer, right.
And so how would you kind of treat your court reporters?
Well, if anybody but Laura, I would treat them very nicely. No, I think I practice what I preach, which is that I believe in giving court reporters a tough job. And you're there for a reason, and your reason is to make that transcript. And so we should all, lawyers and judges, should do whatever we can to make your job easier. We should all, lawyers and judges, should do whatever we can to make your job easier. So I just think that's very important.
Have you ever had a transcript that was made from an electronic recording? And if
Yes.
so, what did you think about it?
I thought it sucked. I did not think it was very good. But then again, I've had, no offense people, but I've had transcripts from stenographers, and they're not so good either. Speak up. If you don't get a word, make sure you speak up, and you don't get a name, feel free. Got to be a little careful about when you do it. As Laura and I were talking this morning, you need to be careful not to break up a flow. So like if something's happening and somebody's struggling, don't break it up, don't give them a chance to regroup. Just write it down and then ask people afterwards for assistance. But everybody wants to have accurate transcripts, so take the time to ask those questions.
All right, well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
So think about not being afraid of doing arbitrations, of taking them on, of considering them as part of your repertoire. You can do international arbitrations also, and perhaps travel like I have done.